The Surfing Doctors are a group of international medics bound by the shared passions of surfing and travelling. Each year they meet in one of the world's surfing wonders, G-Land. Situated in the jungles of eastern Java in Indonesia, this place holds a mystique and allure that draws surfers in and keeps our group coming back year after year. We took a 3-hour boat ride from Bali and arrived with excitement and anticipation for a week of pumping waves and the conference held at Jawa Jiwa Surf Camp at the edge of the jungle. This was my first year joining the group, and I got to have a yarn with the founder, Dr Phil Chapman.
Yeah, Phil Chapman, ER physician, been doing that since, I don't know when, since the early 2000s. Since I came to Australia really, because before that I was trained as a surgeon in the UK.
I asked Phil how long he'd been coming to G-Land and what led to the formation of the Surfing Doctors.
I've been coming to G-Land since 1996. You got offered the gig as a doctor here, sort of ad hoc kind of set up, originally after a spinal injury here. So that was in 1999. It was quite a severe spinal trauma here where the guy was knocked out. He had a C-spine injury, spent a whole night duct taped to a surfboard. Chopper could not come in. Following morning he got choppered out and he went to Sydney to be operated on. He survived the incident, but then the family considered suing the camp owner because of the poor retrieval and medical backup out here. Because it's sold as a decent surf camp and there's no medical backup. So the camp owner got a little bit towy about that and got hold of me and just said, do you want to come and stay for free for a month and you could just come hang out and look after all the surfers, the guests and what have you. And I said, that's a total no-brainer. So that was 2000, 2001, early 2000s, and I was just rolling by myself and sometimes cobbling it together with a bunch of other guys. And then in 2008, there was this week of incredible swell when we were out here. It was also September, actually, funny enough. And so it was like mid to late September, and we had this powerful swell that came in. It was like, 3 meters plus, 8 to 10 foot at 20-second interval. On the second or third day of the swell, a guy got injured here really badly. So there's a bunch of injuries that swell because it was the south swell and Speedies was running. And it was like literally launching pad, which was 8 to 10 foot going into Speedies, which was still about 8 foot.
And
so you can imagine what that was like.
Yeah, a bit of carnage on the reef there, very shallow.
So the guy got slammed into his board and the reef and broke an open book fracture of his pelvis, as it so worked out in the end. And obviously the mortality rate's pretty high for that. And so in the aftermath of that, there was a lot of scrutiny on the various camps and what their medical backup was like. And I chatted to a couple of other guys and we said, well, maybe we should just formalize this into a decent roster and give us a name to the group, which is what we did. And so we called it just simply Surfing Doctors. And that's kind of what we did, we just pulled together a narrow subset of the surfing community, but medical, surfing, and guys who like traveling, like-minded individuals.
The group is made up of people from around the world, but many have settled in places with one thing in common: waves.
Where are you from?
Newcastle, but living on the Goldie.
I'm from Bournemouth in the south of England.
From Sydney.
From Foster, living in Coffs Harbour.
From Bondi, been in Lennox Head for 20 years.
Ireland.
Where are you living now?
Currently homeless.
I'm from Foster in New South Wales, but currently living on the Goldie.
Brizzy.
From Cork, Ireland, living in WA.
From the sunny coast, but living in Sawtell.
I live in Margaret River in WA.
Well, California originally, but I live in Burleigh Heads.
I'm from the west of Ireland. I live in West Australia.
From Perth, West Australia.
I'm Italian, but I work in the Basque Country. Yeah, in San Sebastian.
I'm from a small town called Rosebank in northern New South Wales.
Where do you work now?
I currently work in Tamworth, which is the desert.
So how long's the conference been running for now?
15 years. The conference idea only really came to fruition in 2010. So there was a bunch of people who started coming out the woodwork to give these incredible talks. And I thought, well, this is such a great conference, let's just keep doing it every year, which is what we did, basically.
The conference has been held primarily in G-Land, but the surfing doctors have begun to explore other surfing destinations around the world.
We had to go to Nauru during COVID, so we did the northwest of Australia twice. And now we're doing an extra conference every year in March at a wave pool. This year was Sydney, and the year before was Melbourne.
They've also recently partnered with the Friends of Nias Clinic in the famous Lagundri Bay and have plans for assisting in clinics in rural South Africa. The group has also helped run medical tents at WSL events here in G-Land and at the Margaret River Pro. The conference focused on the medical skills that were required to provide critical care in a remote environment. This included a shoulder reduction workshop, prompted by Dr. Josh and Dr. Killian dislocating their shoulders in the early days of the conference. We also had talks on the use of ultrasound, the importance of physio and mobility, and how to overcome the challenges presented by isolation and limited resources. The clinic at Jawa Jiwa is manned by the surfing docs year-round, and the variation in medical issues requires a broad range of skills and knowledge. You never know what will go wrong in the jungle.
What's the most hectic injury you've seen out here?
Most hectic would probably be, all the nasty scalpings and head injuries, people getting knocked out, near drownings or sort of classified as drownings, the spinal injuries, and then in my time here I've seen 2 pelvic traumas. One was not as bad as the other, but both were open book, so those are pretty bad. But there's no one specific one that stands out. We've had a few toxic envenomations. We've had a snake bite out here before. We've had monkey bites, obviously the scare of rabies. There's been all sorts of things.
And I guess most of the time you're dealing with, lacerations, fin chops, reef chops.
Yes, correct.
Reef cuts.
The other thing that we've seen really sick people with is tropical diseases. In the old days, it was malaria was around, but now more recently there's been things like amoebic dysentery and pretty severe dengue.
Those tropical diseases, it's not necessarily that something you're used to dealing with every day at home. So it's an additional challenge out here, I think.
Yeah. So you get a mixture of stuff, actually quite a broad range of illnesses and trauma and things. So it's a pretty good experience for guys.
Despite the dangers, many surfers and nature enthusiasts are drawn here because of its isolation. G-Land is a special place. It's within the Alas Polo National Park, a jungle spanning over 400 square kilometres. It is full of biodiversity and is home to many species of animals, including monkeys, deer, wild boar, birds, and reptiles like lizards and snakes. It's also one of the last remaining locations on Earth that is home to the endangered Javan leopard. The reef that runs along the coastline is also rich with marine life. But that's not the only thing that draws people here. The combination of rolling swells from the Indian Ocean, offshore trade winds, and the sudden transition from deep ocean to shallow reef creates the perfect barreling waves that this bay is known for.
The thing that keeps you coming back here is, number one, the wave. And because the wave is one of the most perfect lefts in the world, the other thing is the environment and the fact that it's extremely relaxing still. This place hasn't been developed much, but there's no major infrastructure here. It's still a nature reserve. So basically, the animals, the jungle, the reef, you've seen how many animals are still in the sea. They still look pretty healthy. The turtles, the dugongs, the whales, and everything else. It all sort of comes together here in one big melting pot. And that in itself is like a massive sensory input, and which makes it like a soul-enriching trip, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's been a magical experience coming here, and you get the contrast between the tranquility of this beautiful jungle environment, but you can still get your adrenaline fix out the front.
100%.
I find, a lot of us all have that similar mindset of go, go, go all the time, and find it hard to truly relax. So you've got to keep your adrenaline fix up somehow.
Yeah.
In the spirit of maintaining this beautiful hidden paradise that we were so lucky to enjoy, the surfing doctors got to work picking up rubbish from the beach outside our camp.
Get into it, boys. essentially just an unlimited amount of styrofoam here. You could do this every day and night for a month. Barely make a dent.
It's tricky for us to determine which of this is coral and which of this is styrofoam, so you'd think the turtles stand no chance.
With the beach looking a little better than when we started, it was time to go get that adrenaline fix.
Who's charging the hardest?
Oh, it's got to be the boss, Dr Phil.
Definitely Phil.
It's got to be Dr Chapman.
I think it's got to be Dr Chapman.
Definitely Phil.
I guess Phil.
Toss up between young Ollie and Phil Chapman.
My mate here, Jim Parkinson.
It's definitely Ollie.
I'd say Dr. Killian with his dislocated shoulder.
Phil or Grattan Cox.
Definitely Phil or Ant.
I think it's got to be Phil or Ant-Man.
Oh, well, I'm surfing tigers, so absolutely Connor.
Phil, Parko, and Ant.
Oh, Phil, 100%. Yeah. By far. Just, sorry, everyone else. Just like by so far.
Yeah. What can you tell us about the conditions tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a notch bigger and probably a similar direction. If it's another 2 to 3 foot bigger, it could be all time.
Beautiful.
If it's double the size, then we're really winning.
Oh yeah. What's the biggest challenge to delivering healthcare in a remote environment in the jungle like G-Land?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is getting people to where they're meant to be going. So the packaging and disposition, the treatment that we've got, that we can do here is reasonable. We can stabilize people and kind of work out a differential diagnosis. But it's then the packaging of the patient and getting them out. Last year with the one fractured pelvis case, the guy was stuck here for 2 days waiting to be chopped out.
Oh, really?
And he was heading towards an unstable state. So that is the biggest challenge, is getting buy-in with travel insurance and a retrieval company and getting them out. Yeah. And I think that challenge is just exactly the same in remote Indonesia.
Yeah.
And you hear all these horror stories of people going on these idyllic holidays.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of surfers and non-surfers going to remote places these days because everybody wants to travel.
So
the
accessible.
photos look amazing, the surf camp looks amazing, but they don't understand that when shit goes down, something happens, that that's where they're stuck.
What's your take home from G-Land?
Just learned a lot about some really interesting different takes on careers in medicine, and there's some pretty cool things to do out there if you just go looking for it.
Changes all the time, and some sessions will be good, some won't be so good, but they're all amazing.
The jungle always wins.
When people laugh at you for bringing a longboard, just snake them.
Be patient like the G-Land bird.
Don't frost too hard. Bad things happen when you frost too hard.
Always bring a spare board and don't get pissed the night before the best day.
Just come out here and relax and have a good time.
Relax, assess, react, whether it's surfing or clinical.
Oh, there's not many waves out there and there's a lot of people, so take off even if you're too deep. Might be the best wave.
Just don't get on the sauce and get your hair cut.
Don't have a few beers before the best day of surf.
Everyone's a barber in the jungle.
The Surfing Doctors is an epic group to be a part of. The conference is an event that I look forward to joining every year from now on.
This is unreal.